All right. So for the intro this week, picture yourself standing in front of somebody who has no idea of the concept of professional wrestling. They've never heard of it. They lived in a bubble. They've lived in a hut with no internet for 30 years. And you briefly explain what it is. And you're like, if you're going to like it, here are 3 different pay-per-views from 3 different companies that showcase 3 different styles of it perfectly. Give you 3 best recommendations from 3 different companies of their best show. The rules are it cannot be the biggest show of the year. So no Bound for Glory, no WrestleMania, no All In.
Gotcha.
Because there's nobody in the world who's going to be like, what do I watch to like this? And you hand them a 7-hour opus, and they're not sitting through that whole thing. So get it.
No Wrestle Kingdom either. Then
no Wrestle Kingdom. No Wrestle Kingdom. Jesus.
The G7.
So take 2 vacation days and watch 2 Wrestle Kingdoms.
Well, I mean,
But we'll give you a few minutes on it, starting now.
Have you seen that before in a gift shop?
teach me.
No.
And we're back. Connor's got attacked by his cat during that break.
It's because I wasn't wearing my glizzy glasses.
He doesn't have the aura anymore.
I don't have the glizzy protection.
But I'll do my 3 first. Because this is a hard question without including WrestleManias and Bound for Glories, I know, but I'm just going at it from an outsider's perspective. If I'm like, sell me on this, and you hand me like an 8-hour long DVD or 2 days worth of content, I'm like, I don't know about that. So my first one, SummerSlam 2002.
Okay.
Opens with Angle and Mysterio. You got Flair versus Jericho, Edge versus Eddie. The Un-Americans, Lance Storm and Christian versus Booker T and Goldust. Then there's Rob Van Dam versus Benoit for the IC championship. Taker and Test. You had Shawn Michaels and Triple H in that unsanctioned match where Shawn kind of came out of retirement. So you got some great storytelling thrown in there too.
Oh, is that when he was wearing the jeans with the brown boots?
Yeah, the jeans with the cowboy boots and the Karen Bob and the white tank top. Yeah, peak Shawn Michaels.
Peak sexy boy.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the main event was Lesnar and The Rock. So you kind of can't go wrong there. Mm-hmm. To throw in something completely different, I would then tell them to watch ECW's Heat Wave 1998. With Masato Tanaka and Mike Awesome on there. One of those ones where they were just out there to try to legit kill each other. Yeah. Just Incredible versus Jerry Lynn. Chris Candido versus Lance Storm. You also had like Taz, Sabu, Van Dam, all those guys there. So that's a whole different route to go if you want to watch a bunch of people get thrown through tables, or you really want to see kind of the nitty gritty. You can go to one of those. And my last one, if you're looking for sheer work rate, it's TNA Unbreakable 2005 with AJ Styles, Daniels, and Samoa Joe as the main event. That is the best match in TNA history. They will never put on a better one.
No.
That was lightning in a bottle and absolute perfection.
That was a Meltzer turning point for TNA. I think he gave that match like 5 stars.
And a glimpse into the future as well, because that's Samoa Joe and AJ Styles in 2005. So like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
You also got Rhino and Raven in a hardcore match for the NWA Big Gold Belt, which was really good. Mm-hmm. And you had a 4-way tag team match with America's Most Wanted and Team Canada, which were great teams for TNA. I love Team Canada. As a kid, you had Abyss versus Sabu, no DQ, and Petey Williams was against Chris Sabin, which was also a great X Division match. So it's a different 3 very distinct kind of things if you were going to throw at somebody who had never seen this before. But Connors, I'll go to you next. How would you sell someone on this?
Well, I'm going to have to start backwards because TNA Unbreakable 2005 is my 3rd one. Because of the triple threat. That X Division match was just incredible. That's the best way to showcase those 3 guys at any given fucking time. And you want to watch just what AJ, Daniels, and Joe can do all in one fucking shot instead of watching a bunch of different matches. That's the one. And then I had Bash at the Beach 96. It was when
that's a
NWO
good
formed, right? Hogan turned heel, so you can kind of explain like
that too, yeah.
right?
No, that's a good one because that shows a really good storyline side of things too, right?
Yep.
Because even if you've never heard of wrestling before, like you're aware of Hulk Hogan. Like Hulk Hogan was in the celebrity
They had the
status.
third man angle. Here's our third, right?
Yeah.
King of the Ring 98. That was the Hell in the Cell. With
Mankind and Taker.
And then there was, what was that? Rock and Shamrock had their match. Oh, that was the first blood match with Kane, and they had to follow the Hell in the Cell with a first blood match, didn't they? Or was that first?
I think that was after the fact. No, Hell in the Cell was the main event. I'm pretty sure Hell in the Cell was the main event.
Okay, so they had to do the first blood match and then go and they did the Hell in the Cell. Nice.
That's actually a great three-peat of because like it does show, but not. I was just going for like different kinds of wrestling, but I never thought about storyline stuff. But I think that would scare someone away if you showed them Hell in a Cell first, and you were like, "Hey, do you want to watch a very nice old man almost fucking die?"
A couple times. A couple times.
New Hook, what about you?
Sorry, there we go, disappeared on me. So I had Heatwave 98 as well. That's just
hell yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's just definitely one of their best pay-per-views, like booking wise. Just all those matches are enough to be like, hey, watch this, and this is what wrestling is, because there's different of it on there. Like you said, Jerry Lynn and Just Incredible. There you go. Just let them go out, and there's technical wrestling. There you go. Watch that. And then go watch people beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, then you get to watch like Mike Awesome.
Yeah,
just
and then
power bombing.
Yeah, and then the main event is just chaos. It's like a 6-man. Just go for it. I think mine were just more about the pay-per-views being moments as opposed to matches themselves, like the being moments in like wrestling history, I guess, for me. First one was the first elimination pay-per-view, so it would have been Survivor Series 2002.
Yeah, that's sick.
That kind of like that was a huge, because like all the stuff growing up for myself, all those huge stipulations were already created. That was like the first time I'm like, I think maybe Hell in a Cell was created when we were born, but it was like super young, maybe. But like that's the first one I remember like going, man, they put a lot of work into this, like, and it really changed the huge trajectory of how things can change for wrestling. Like now that like that's the same thing on.
Thanks, Eric Bischoff.
Well, I mean, like one or two good things. I didn't put it in there, but it's talking about that, like Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
that's it can help change the trajectory of anybody's career, any storyline. That say if it needs to get rewritten, and like it's just it can be a huge transition point for a lot of things. So, and then it wasn't technically a pay-per-view, but it was all in the first one, 2018.
Yep, that counts because like there was no company for it to be the big one of the company then, right?
Yeah,
so.
Aldous and Cody.
Yeah, just that was a crazy night for wrestling in general. Like any fan was super pumped.
Yeah,
truly, the whole game changed that night,
and like, every wrestler was watching it.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very not critical eyes, but very,
close eyes.
Very close eyes. Like how is this going to be perceived? And
because it's one thing to say, oh, we're going to go up against the Fed. It's one thing to say, oh, we're going to go out and we're going to put on this big show. It's another thing entirely to sell out an arena of that size and actually take a stab at it. Yep. I remember where I was. I paid the $34 and I sat and watched that on YouTube. 100% because I was such a huge fan, and I'm like, this is either going to be the next big thing, which clearly it was because we're still sitting here talking about AEW today, or it's going to be a fart in church, and there was going to be no in the middle. Like it's going to be one or the other. So that's actually a really good shot.
Okay, so and then one of the other ones that I guess were important to show that wrestling can work between companies was Forbidden Door, the first one. Sure, it could be, there's always going to be nitpicking when 2 companies or 3 companies or 4 companies work together, because certain people are going to think it has to go a certain way. But in the grand scheme of things, for 2 huge companies, 2 huge companies be able to pull off a show like that, it shows that it can be done. And now we see WWE and TNA working together, and WWE and AAA and.
But look at AEW, what happened with Forbidden Door, right? Now it's a melting pot, because in Forbidden Door, you've got New Japan, you've got Stardom, there's like CMLL is represented there for the most part. Like, you've got 5, I think there's 5 promotions now that are all under that, like, My AEW banner. And when Forbidden Door comes around, everybody gets to send like 2 or 3 of their best guys. Who would have thought we live in that day and age?
So,
right?
I guess the pay-per-views for me were more so for the single matches. Like for the meaning of what it could be for wrestling in general. But then, of course, I'm a CM Punk mark, and if we're going to talk about one match in particular for pay-per-view, is the Money in the Bank 2011. We're seeing Punk and John Cena.
If it wasn't for those last 2 picks that you had with the Money in the Bank and to CM Punk there, I was like, man, nothing past 2005. Everything's just locked in time.
I was about to say, because you guys were fucking lucky when you guys grew up in this, right? Because you said, the first major stipulation that I got to see invented was the Elimination Chamber. For me, it was that shitty all submission pay-per-view Breaking Point, and we got bragging rights when I was a kid. Like, we got all the shit.
Well, I guess the first stipulation that I would have seen would have been the ladder match.
I guess the
first ladder match.
So I guess ladder match, and like TLC would have been like the first stipulation, but like that was with weapons that we already seen used. I guess.
This is a new thing that they built for
this. It was a brand new thing. But first stipulation definitely would have been the ladder match. Then I guess. I wouldn't even think about it that way. TLC would have been
the concession brawl. The concession.
Actually,
Gene Hackman on a pole. And we're back to Sabotage Everything. Drifting to the scene. I love dropping a joke right before I bring us back, so you're both laughing. I'm Lyle. That is Connors. That is New Hook. We're back for another week of wrestling talk as we slowly but surely approach North Pro's next trip down to St. John for an Area 506 show on September 11th. We can't wait. It's going to be so much fun. But before that, it was actually a really, really good week for WWE's weekly content. And I can't believe I'm saying that. There was a lot of interesting angles, a couple weird ones, but the big one we have to talk about. I'm glad that we waited later in the week to record this, because we get to talk about what happened on NXT, where during the number 1 contenders match, a couple bloodline questions were answered when Zilla Fatu just came in and cleaned everybody out.
Oh my God, it's about time.
It is. First of all, I'm very happy he's in NXT. I was really worried that they were going to bring him up to the main roster immediately and something stupid was going to happen. That's what I thought, because I think you do need at least a month or 2, even if you're just down there for a cup of coffee, to make sure you can hang. Yeah. You've got to test these things out, right?
I don't disagree with you.
I think they got to clear up whatever the hell they're doing with the bloodline first before they even introduce him. So,
and that's my number 1 question for you and a New Hook, Mr. Connors. Do we need more members of the on television faction bloodline, or is what I think is going to happen, and he's going to be on Solo's side of the War Games match? Because that's what I see. I don't think they need any more people on Roman's side, because they've got both Usos, they've got Roman, they've got a bunch of people they can go to in that bloodline orbit right now. But Solo's doing some really good solo face work, no pun intended. Hey. So I see him joining up with Solo and doing something like that.
Yeah, they need more members. Like, I need more cat scratches on my leg right now. So they need to protect Zilla at all costs because they almost fucked up Jacob Fatu. They can't repeat that process.
So, and then in my argument on that would be then, if you put him with Solo, I feel like you would fuck him up.
Not this Solo.
Yeah, face Solo.
Face Solo.
No, face Solo I love. I absolutely agree. I love what Solo's doing, but Zilla needs to remain a killer.
He will. I think that's going to be Solo's shield.
Okay.
He's going to be his Tasmanian fucking devil. Like, don't touch me. You got to go through him. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got Solo on the outside, like being funny. He was hilarious on Monday Night Raw when Jey Uso was trying to cut him down, and he's like, "This is your warning shot," and he like ducked down and like looked behind him and was like, "Is everybody okay?" Like,
I think honestly that was their best, both of their best promo work alive, because Jay tapped into real world brother. Listen here, motherfucker shit. Like, that's what he tapped into. Because like the whole time Solo's just trying to pop him, and Jay's like, listen, motherfucker. Like,
and you can see it too. There's a couple times where he's really close to breaking. Like, you could have a counter on screen every time you watch WWE programming of how much the Bloodline break each other. Like, how many times does Roman half lose his shit at something that Jay says? Like,
I enjoy that.
And what I love about it too, it's like, it's almost weird. It's like Solo got lost in the shuffle there for a little bit and was much more of like a manager for a hot second when he had the MFTs, like when he had Jeff Cobb there. And it's almost like that helped him in a way, because he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe I can get over with like my words instead. And now that they have him in a program where he is wrestling more, I do think he's going to be the captain of one of the War Games teams at Survivor Series. Now it's almost like he's putting that to use. So he's like, okay, now I'm ready to get back into a spot, and I've spent all this time talking and doing promos and stuff. And so he feels much more comfortable than he did when he first arrived. When he first arrived, you could tell that he was in a shadow pretty bad.
Oh boy.
Like he was he was standing in the shadow of a few giants at the time, because he showed up when the Bloodline was like white hot, like absolutely nuclear hot. But with Zilla being a killer new hook, you touched on that. How do they do this and differentiate him from Jacob Fatu? Because I don't think there's room for two guys from the same family, two big Samoan guys that do the shaking around and like, it's good.
What's their actual relation?
What's their 1 second? Computing.
Cousins.
Well,
Fatu is related to Jacob. They are cousins. Close relationship cousins within the Anawahi wrestling family.
Yeah. So, like, what's the actual Jacob Fatu is son of Tonga Kid. Wazilla is the son of Umaga. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, that's Umaga's kid. And Umaga is incredible. We'll take 5 seconds and just say, I think that's a unanimous thing for this panel, is that Umaga is the shit, right?
Umanga.
Well, honestly, so they're different enough visually.
They are.
So, in all honesty, why can't they just let them be themselves? And they're different enough, you know what I mean? Like, but both of them have similar backgrounds of, they had their legal issues, they had the rough growing up, they had, like, let them rival each other and then beat the fuck out of each other.
I think whenever we do get that 1v1, it's going to be something special. It's going to be a lot of stuff, because you've got I think honestly would not mind a bit if Zilla leaned into the Umaga bit, wore some face paint, came out with like the full monster gimmick.
I support it, because Jacob doesn't, because then I think that's what a lot of people expect out of Jacob, was that type of face paint and everything like that. And they give I'm glad he does the mask. I love the mask that he
mask is sick.
But yeah, I think it is just like, let Zilla come up, but do his own, not do Umaga obviously, but let him do his own version, his tribute. His own tribute to
it. It's a shame Solo already uses the spike.
Yeah, I just hope that like
you can steal it.
They're not digging for like a new Roman Reigns in some type of way. you know?
Yeah, I honestly, I hope that as well, and I hope that they're smart enough to realize that they'll never be able to duplicate that.
No.
That has to just naturally happen, right?
Yeah,
And I don't think it's far away. I think we are in the tail end of Roman's career. Like, we're in the last few years. He's in a Sidney Crosby era right now. He's still a player. He's still up there with the best in the game. Obviously, you can put the weight on the back and he'll carry you as far as you got to go. But what happens when he's gone? Who takes that spot? Roman has got himself to some rarefied air. And I'm not sure there's nobody in the bloodline that can take his spot. Like, there's never, like, it's not going to be a Samoan dynasty after him. There will be remnants. You'll have Zilla, you'll have Jacob. The Usos got a lot left.
Sami Zayn.
The honorary Usos.
I don't know. It's a big set of shoes to fill, and they don't have the time to build anyone to get to that point before he's gone. That's such a small window to create that type of fucking aura.
I think it also comes with the tribulations that he had too, right? Because you can't really get somebody over the way that Roman Reigns got over, because he got over by being shoved down our throats forcefully, the crowd turning on him, and then him having to learn from that process and kind of figure out how to turn it around. Obviously, the heel turn, the Paul Heyman.
I was just about to say, Paul had a huge hand in that. Same role.
The tide turned on that Monday Night Raw when he was sitting on the couch and it zoomed out and Paul was next to him. That's the second this all started, was when Paul Heyman appeared on screen. 100%.
So do you need to find another Paul Heyman to create that person, or do you think there's just going to be another, not saying that it has to be from the Samoan dynasty either, but there needs to be someone that's going to pivot into that position that Roman is fucking like protected for so long? And I don't know if there's anybody in pro wrestling right now that could do that.
I do. And it's next on my list of things to ask you about, because one of my favorite parts of Monday Night Raw was actually a backstage segment with Bron Breaker. Mm-hmm. When he's walking around and you've got Logan Paul with his big stupid looking arm brace on because he broke his big stupid arm, and he's sitting there talking, and Byron doesn't say a word to him. Like, you know, Austin Theory's macking on Maxine, and they're all doing their "we're the best" vision, blah, 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 blah. And Bron Breaker's just standing back there, pissed off, saying nothing. Walks away. Really Bron Breaker walks up to Byron and goes, "What do you think of Oba Femi?" He says, "Well, I like him." Bron Breaker says, "Do you think he's the future?" And Byron goes, "Well, that's what Brock Lesnar says." He goes, "Yeah, Paul too." Then he just walks away. I think that is one of the best setups.
That's cool.
For a motivation in a very long time. And whichever one of those two ends up with Paul Heyman has potential. I think that Bron Breaker has megastar written all over him. And I think the only thing that can save Oba right now is Paul Heyman.
And see, it's like I almost feel the roles are like reversed. I feel Bron Breaker would be the Brock Lesnar as opposed to the Roman Reigns, and then Oba would be the Roman. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like the two, and it feels like they're trying to push the opposites on them, and it feels weird to me. It should have been Breaker and Brock Lesnar, but I understand why in the positions, but it's just the two characters themselves. I'm like,
but maybe not. In all honesty, though, because did you see the second like backstage clip of Paul and Bron? It's like Paul is trying to be a dick, but on purpose to bring out the Bron that he knows to be there.
Yeah. What he said was, I'm going to respect Oba Femi until you give me a reason not to.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, that it's like maybe that's the only way to get across the Bron type of shit, maybe. Because maybe he realizes, in all honesty, I feel it, is like Bron doesn't need to be in the vision.
Oh God, no.
He hasn't had to be in the Vision since the Vision started.
That's been his ball and chain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what it is, because Paul has like purposely distanced himself from, like, you've seen it on a couple clips like a couple weeks ago. Austin was like, "Oh, Paul, I didn't know you're here," and he's like, "Yep," and just walked away.
I think he is much more Bron Breaker's manager right now, and kind of waiting to see what happens there. I really think it is a waiting game because Logan Paul is hurt. So as soon as Logan Paul's back, something will happen there. Yeah. Like, you'll see him break out on his own. But that begs the question. These two, they're obviously setting up these two to wrestle. Someone has to eat a pin.
Good.
So it's like, you can't really derail Oba right now.
No, Bron can take a pin.
Bron can take the pin and win it for sure. But I think this would be one of the best matches Oba has ever had. I think this is where you really see them go like 15 minutes, and it's not just huff this guy around and squash him. No. Like, the Hell in a Cell at SummerSlam was only like 8 minutes or something like that.
And they can base that match on, this is the future. So here's your new, your new main talent of going forward, because shortly after that, like you said, Brock's pretty much gone, whatever that retirement might mean. Roman's pretty much toast, and then Punk, Seth, like, those guys are bouncing too. Cody's still probably got a bunch of time left, but like, his style,
Cody probably has the most longevity out of anybody you just mentioned. Yeah. Cody probably is the one that'll be around longer. I don't think we've seen peak Cody yet.
No, we haven't seen heel Cody. So once we get that,
until we see heel Cody, then we're going to see him really get that next step up the ladder to where he maybe could be somebody who's on Roman's level. But right now,
that might be, he might be the heel to elevate the next, like, Reigns person,
There you go.
And it could be, what if that's how Breaker excels? He's kind of like a face with Heyman, you know what I mean?
I think Breaker would work better as a face. I think Bron Breaker as a face. I think the one out of the two of them that would work better as a heel is, I saw somebody say it online, and I absolutely love the idea, a heel Oba and Paul Heyman.
Big time.
Because it's basically just Lesnar part 2, except now he's 20 whatever the hell years old again. Like, you're rinsing and repeating, but the gimmick is different enough that you're kind of not.
Yeah.
Like, so it's interesting. I'm very interested in where they go with both of these guys, because I think it's finally Braun's time to get closer to the front of the line. And we go back to like the first couple episodes of this show, you can hear me rant about how much I love Bron Breaker. Like, I absolutely love the athleticism. The dude's fucking terrifying looking. Like, he's got the lineage. He's a math major. Like, he got Steiner math in his veins. It's amazing. Another backstage segment on Raw that I was really interested in, this AAA kind of tit for tat that they're doing with the weekly AAA show is very interesting. Finally get to see Rey Mysterio back on weekly, like, regular television again, which is awesome.
That's always nice.
Yeah, to set up a match with Chad Gable.
He had 2 match changes during the show last night.
Yeah, it crazy. So Rey Mysterio versus Chad Gable, I think that is obviously going to be a banger. There's no question about who's going to win. Kind of a similar question to the Roman question. I listened to an interview with Rey Mysterio not long ago, and he said he was close to being done, but now you see recently being posted on Twitter, Lexis King putting that his daughter, Aaliyah, is now at the Performance Center. So Rey is saying he wants to stick around a bit, because how interesting would it be to see all, like, 3 people in the same family in the ring? A dad, his daughter, and his son in the same match.
Killing it. That's wild.
There would need to be, like, Dom would need to come around for one night so we can have them all on one side. Like,
have them all on one side, or I was thinking it's Dom and Liv versus Aaliyah and Rey.
I want to see, but I want to see.
Because that's what I was thinking. How can you book it so it's just the 3 family members? It would have to be a trios match, right?
Come out with, like, tribute to, like, Halloween Havoc 97.
They're all in the Phantom gear.
All in the Phantom.
Phantom type gear. Like, just let it do. Just, man, it's only going to happen once. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I think we're close to seeing Rey say that finally he's done as well. Still in great shape. Rey Mysterio still in amazing shape. But at this point, his knee is made of like tissue paper and balsa wood.
Yep.
So it would be difficult for him to do anything beyond what he's doing now. It's also a really good thing for me because it seems like Chad Gable is trying very, very, very hard to elevate the Intercontinental Championship.
Oh my God, yeah.
I just feel like he's stuck in, like, not himself, but I just feel bad for the guy because the second that he came back, I feel like the crowd didn't give him like the love that like everybody was online, and maybe it could have just been that town or whatever it was. But like,
I think it was the fact they had him go out with Otis and Maxine immediately.
Yeah, and his song sucks. His song sucks.
There needs to be like some type of like consequence. There needs to be something that makes him that underdog again while still holding the belt. Like he needs to have something happen to get that sympathy again, and I don't know what it is. No, it's not going to happen with Otis around.
Beat up the mug root beer dog. I don't fucking know.
Right? Yeah.
I'm a Barks guy. Fuck
ankle
you.
lock.
That's more important than his family. So
because what they're trying to do is they're doing a thing very similar to what they did with Kurt Angle, where his gimmick is he's a shoot legit extremely good wrestler.
Yeah.
Like if you've watched his workouts online, the guy is a freak of nature.
Oh, he should have been Kurt Angle's kid. Like
100%.
Where he wasn't was the stupidest thing ever. It's like,
but the only thing is he doesn't have near the charisma that Angle had, because even though Angle was doing a very similar thing, he had his three eyes, he had the milk truck, he made that kind of Rudy too, like, hey, I'm so good at this, like that was his thing. Whereas Chad Gable, they're more leaning into like he's a family man, he's really good at wrestling, like you can only
we need Perk Gable.
We need give him a bottle of painkillers. No,
Perk Angle and Perk Gable. Oh, dear.
But it's like there's no edge to him right now. You're 100%.
Imagine those stage dives.
Oh my God, Jesus! Because like people forget how many good matches he had when he was in tag team wrestling. Like that 2 out of 3 falls match with FTR. With him and American, what the hell was
American
it called?
Alpha.
American Alpha.
Yeah.
They had a great theme song. They had a great theme song.
They probably should have just gave him that back.
Yeah, instead of doing the skull.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
I hate it.
It's so bad, and it feels like that's the remnants of like Shorty G still fucking like that little thorn in his side still there, making him do that shit. You know what I mean? Like,
do you think that's the worst gimmick of the last like 10 years?
Yeah. I think it's up there.
I think it's that, and it's Bearcat Keith Lee.
That really hurt me.
Bearcat Keith Lee was one of my least favorite ones, because you like it's one thing with Chad Gable, because Vince, of course, when he was in charge, would look at a guy like Chad Gable and would say, he's so short, make him Shorty G. But with Keith Lee, you have a monster that can do Hurricane Ranas, and you're going to call him the Bearcat? Like, there's a history of like terrible gimmicks, but those ones seemed like he just didn't care about the person enough to even give them one.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He tried to just recreate everything regardless of what worked.
Yeah.
Like, my God.
It's true.
There was it seems like they're setting up like a passing of the torch moment between, oh my God, Becky and Stephanie McCreer.
Yeah, it definitely, because Becky's deal is up in a couple months.
What do you think? Do you think she's gonna?
I think she's gonna go back and be a mom again for a while. I think she's at that point now where she shows up, she does a season or whatever you want to call it, like a 6-month stretch, and then she bows out. And then when there's someone around that she wants to work with, she comes back. And
where they're living in the States, I assume.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
I assume she'll be like doing a lot of training stuff then.
Well, they got their coffee business and fucking plus they run Black and Brave, so there's no shortage of anything going on.
Yeah,
she's not going to be in it. Okay, cool. Because I'm a Becky. I like Becky Lynch. I'm a big fan of her. There's times where, maybe some of the character work or matches, just like any wrestler, is like, okay, I wasn't into that, but like as a whole, definitely a big fan of Becky Lynch and what she's done for
women's wrestling.
Not even just women's wrestling though, but just wrestling in general. Like she's dope. So to see that, and like I'm a huge Steph Curry fan as well. So to see them be able to like get the hopefully have like more than just one match and like go at it for like a couple matches. That'll be cool to see.
And you know what I loved about that exchange they had on Raw is that even though Stephanie Vicaire doesn't speak the best English, they are really getting good at working around it. Because you had Becky they're doing this thing a lot now where they're showing two people close up bitching at each other without miking them up. And that's really interesting to me, because that is the best way to let Stephanie Vicaire and her go, because she can yell at her in Spanish and Becky can get a couple jabs in, and you don't have to have this 7-minute segment where it's just difficult for Vicaire to get herself across and get any kind of pop when she's struggling, and it's not her fault, obviously. But they are booking it a lot better, because I remember in that feud with Liv, they were giving her a mic a lot, and it's like you just can't do that until she gets better at it. It's like Penta when he first came to the States.
It's like giving Andrade a mic. Like, what the fuck?
Just let him make out with random chicks in the crowd. Look how over that the dude's taking tearaway pants off, and he has that over like Cesaro did that time. So
it's so ridiculous. Tony Schiavone, this guy's so cool. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I think Tony Schiavone and Excalibur are still two of my favorite commentators right now. No, I love them. I like AEW's commentary better than I like WWE's commentary. I do.
I can't handle Excalibur. He just yells everything. It's like no one knows what the fucking Tope Hurricane fucking have a Corona is.
He's trying to be like early like WCW when they come in and like the pyro's going on. Like, welcome to WCW.
I mean, But Tony, he's just everything's cool. Everything's great. This is fun. I'm like, what are you talking about? He just hit him in his
favorite commentary. Who's your favorite commentary duos?
Ooh, man, that's tough, because I'm going like back to Bob Caudle and fuck like all them guys. Shit. Here's I want to go with Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon.
Yep, that's an excellent choice. That's a hard second to mine. It's Mike Tenay and Taz.
Yeah, that's
Mike Tenay. Mike Tenay does not get enough flowers for how good he was at that job in both WCW and TNA. Like he is incredible. He was out there in the middle of a match trying to get an entire card worth of a pay-per-view down in like 30 seconds. He's like, then we got Samoa Joe, and we got AJ Styles, then we got Amazing Red taking on Abyss, and it's just go.
That's true. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, Mike
that guy is always awesome. Don
West was really, really good too. Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah. He had that growl, like he could really get that fucking sound like he was choking.
Being a heel commentator without being like cartoony about it, if that makes any sense. Like he was really good at doing heelish things, but at the same time having justification for why he was doing them. Because too often you hear like heel commentators just cheering for the heels blindly and saying like, yeah, get him, and it's like, oh, that's all good to me, blah 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 blah. But it's like, no, give them a reason for why that you're like this and why you think that's okay. And Don West was really, really good at that. Like the way he hated AJ Styles back in the day was amazing, because they did that whole him cheating on his wife story. So then for like months, Don West was like, oh yeah, he masquerades as a family man, but then he's out there with mistresses and hotels all over the country
picking up all dressed chips. Oh my God. He loves them all dressed chips.
What about you, New Hook? Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite duo?
See, I don't know if I have like a favorite duo. I just had favorite. Like I loved Mauro Ranallo.
Yeah.
Loved him, and I was just like thinking I'd love to hear him and Corey Graves work together, but I forgot they had a bit of a feud going for a bit because Corey Graves like tweeted out that his style was too energetic and shit like that. But like that was also before Corey Graves kind of his attitude's changed in the past couple of years.
I think it's because there was that time he complained about getting demoted.
Yeah, and like I understand he's bitter about certain things. I can totally understand it, especially coming from like being a wrestler and being on a bit of a upswing for NXT, and then like getting the feet taken out from underneath him with his neck injury and everything. I can understand. And then there's been times that he has been like not blatantly disrespected on commentary, but like not given the. Like he knows what he's fucking talking about. Like let's be like, you know what I mean? Like he understands the business, and then to get like he finally got to show himself when he went down to AAA and just killed it down there. So I feel like with his new attitude or understanding of like what he can bring to the table for wrestling, him and Morale would be dope. But I don't even know how, like I grew up with Michael Cole and
Ross and King.
Yeah, I grew up with Ross and King, so like that combination, as much as like
shout out to JR, he's going for brain surgery right now.
Yeah, he is. So all the best to JR. Of course, everybody wants that
today.
legend to stay around as long as he can. There's never. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think them two, like, sure, it was like some of the stuff during like the Attitude Era, the shit they talk about was stupid as fuck, but just their voices, I think, is just my combination of what I grew up with. But Don West and Don West and Mike, they both worked together at the same time, right?
Oh yeah, Don West and Mike Tenay were like TNA commentary for like a decade almost, and then Taz came in.
Yeah, and that would be like the next one for me, I guess, because I didn't really grow up on TNA, but then when you look at any clip of TNA, it's one of them going off. So
it's just the Mike Tenay's voice is just so like it's
the perfect
WCW
voice for that.
me.
It is. It is the perfect voice for that exact job. And Jim Ross, to another degree, had an amazing voice for it. I don't think there's ever been a commentary person that's tied to a wrestler more than Jim Ross is tied to Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, yeah.
He elevated everything Austin did. Like, not saying that Austin wouldn't have been as legendary as he is if JR wasn't there. Obviously, he still would have been like the biggest draw ever. But
those nights after pay-per-views, man, when Austin wins and JR's got no voice left and he's just flower after flower after flower. Oh my God. And it just it amped you up. It made you feel it. You were like, yeah, that fucking guy. Yeah, him.
Of course, it's probably really easy to feed off of it when also the crowds were just insane at that point in time. Like
flashes and signs.
Yeah, it must have been really a whole lot easier to kind of feed off the crowd. The death of signs is something that needs to be studied. It really does, because I was just watching an old episode of Raw from like 2001 the other day. Every second person had a fucking piece of Bristol board. Like, it looked like a middle school science fair in there, because everybody's just got their thing.
Everybody's too concerned about like taking their phone. Like I that's one thing that I cannot fucking stand, being at concerts and someone having their cell phone out. Like, if you do it for like one song, sure, everyone's got their favorite song. I get it, I guess.
Unless you're there to film the show, get a clip, put your fucking phone away and watch.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't take my cell phone out at concerts. Like, I'm there, I'm there, I'm taking in the moment. Like, I'll take a picture afterwards or like in between sets and shit like that, sure. But it's just one of those things, and it's like that's all people are concerned about on at shows now, is having their cell phone out and getting a clip, when it's like they don't want to be a part of the show.
And how often do you ever post them? Like, you see all those people that take like half hour worth of footage at a concert. How often are you looking at those videos or post them on their social?
Stays on their phone and then it just disappears forever.
What do you want? Like, that's all you're gonna hear.
Yeah.
Anyways, you know what I mean? Like, most cell phones can't pick up like a quality. So
not like
what I usually do is exactly what you said. Once my favorite song, like when 3 Days Grace, I'll use 3 Days Grace as an example. I went to see them in Finger 11. The only two videos I took that entire night was when Finger 11 played Slow Chemical. Yeah. And I did a clip where I was sitting there and I turned it around and I was like, it's gotta be Kane. It's gotta be Kane. And then when 3 Days Grace played Animal I've Become, I the chorus of that, put it on the story, phone went right back in the pocket. Because you're right. And with wrestling, I think it's worse. Yeah. Because in wrestling, it's like there's people that got their phones out the whole goddamn show and they're taking videos of every spot.
And you can't feel the moment when you're trying to watch it through your cell phone. No, like trying to watch it through your cell phone, recording the moment live. And
there's a disconnect because you're trying to keep it in frame and you're still watching, but it's like it's in a fucking, it's a disconnect that I think people need to get the fuck away from, and just like, you're paying money to go immerse yourself in something that's out of this world.
Like I went, when I go to movies, like, okay, so I went to 2 different movies in the past little while. First time going to an opening night Marvel movie, which was super dope.
It's always fun.
Went with Connors to see Spider-Man. that was the first time ever, and we always get like middle of the theater, so at one point like turn around and it's just packed. Never experienced it before. I don't like going to packed theaters because there's always like one or two idiots that like to talk too much and shit. Luckily this wasn't the case. And then I had some appointments on Tuesday, so I had some time in between them in Halifax. I'm just sitting around. I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I forgot my gym gear. I'm in the gym in a minute anyway, so I was like, all right, what do we do? So looking through what movies are being played. It's Tuesday, so it was like $10. All right, cool. What movies? Super Troopers 3. I was like, sure.
Hell
why
yeah.
not? So I go. I'm sitting directly in the middle. There's two older people, like old people, sitting up and like towards the front, and three dudes that are either ex-military, ex-cops, current cops, something of the sort, up at the top. And I'm just sitting in the middle, and it's like two drastically different experiences in a movie theater, and for two drastically different movies. But I was enjoying both, and both I was indulging in things. So it was like a very great experience to just hood up and just like.
Chilling out. Oh, is that Beans?
That's Bean.
Hey, Beans. You're not the one that tried to murder your father.
No, she was the one that Dad went to save.
Bean would never.
Look at that boy.
Just a baby.
Girl.
Oh, girl. Bean's a girl.
Being a Tootsie Pants are girls.
Bean and Tootsie. I'm a girl dad.
So on the phone thing, do you guys think it gets to a point where like you see a lot of comedians now, what they do is because they don't want people getting their new material leaked out after the fact, right? So like Kevin Hart does it. I'm pretty sure Gabriel Iglesias does it.
Envelopes.
They give you the little envelope. And I think that's going to become the standard because you're going to see people realize like, oh shit, Ghost, the band Ghost is the big one where they are like hard no phone policy. Like they'll kick you out of the show.
Wasn't Tool like that for a while?
Yeah. I think like, a lot of bands that are like very experienced based, like it's a show as much as anything else.
And if they want to post, like let them post stuff.
Yeah,
because they're going to be able to post better clips than it. Like they hire people for this shit. Just like, you know, we hire people for our stuff, and it's like, you know, when we get it lined up for the backstage stuff of more videos being done and production and stuff like that, it's like we have the people for it that will be roaming around and getting the B-roll footage. And it's just like, sure, people want to feel like they're part of the show, but at some point where's the disconnect? Where's that supposed to be?
Like, just thinking of like those old Ring of Honor shows, like Not a Phone in Sight, and
everybody banging on the
yeah. And then thinking like the last couple months of Raw, there's been that one dickhead right on hard cam with his flash on filming the whole fucking thing. So you get a big flash start right on hard cam. Like, throw beer bottles at that guy.
Because you can program those envelopes. So I think what the best idea is like you make them put their phone in an envelope. And then at an interval, some point in the show, whether it be for the encore, if you're at a concert, or for the main event, if it's a wrestling show, then you can unlock them. Last 20 minutes, when shit's going nuts, like when Cena's turning heel and about to kick somebody in the dick. All right, take your phones out.
If everybody had all their cell phones out for that moment, that'd be kind of insane looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that also could get you back that flashbulb experience, right? Because then old thing could come up on the Tron, like, okay, phone's out, and then everybody's like, oh.
So you bring that up. So I was at the Avenged Sevenfold concert, and right up on the screen before the show starts, it just says Light Show and has a QR code. Scan it. It takes you to their app or whatever, or their website where like you got to log in. But then when you do, it takes over control of your flashlight. And then before the show starts, they play this like melodic song or something, and literally everyone has their cell phone out. And it's all flashing at different intervals, and then with the music, and then like all this different stuff, and then the show starts, and it's like that would be cool.
Sick. That's a good use of the technology.
Like, I didn't know what they were doing at first, and then when I looked around, I was like, oh, okay, like visually, this is really fucking dope. So,
that is a really sick idea, actually, and a good way to get people constructively, because you're right, you're not watching the show through your phone. You're not experiencing the way it's supposed to be experienced. Thankfully, on the indies, it's not that bad. Like, you do see some people who are taking a lot of videos. But
that's a different story. Like, on the indies is a little bit of a different story because, like, it's still, like, you're super up close. You're part of it. Like, shout out to Wrestle Tapes. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out to Wrestle Tapes. They're doing some crazy work out there. They're getting some great angles.
All over the place.
Yeah, and some great shows, and they're doing it in a way that, it's like, like that's their thing, you know what I mean? But it's also, yes, indie companies need that type of stuff. When you're at big shows, you don't need that type of shit.
No, you can only get so many 850 feet away nosebleed pictures of like Cody Rhodes, and it's like, shit, sit and watch the show.
Yeah, right.
Sit and watch the show. Like, you're here to watch wrestling. I went to a bunch of pay-per-views in the city when I was living in Toronto. I went to SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. I saw Forbidden Door. I saw an All Out there. The last All Out they did north of the border, I was there. And the amount of times you're just looking next to people and everybody's just like this, looking through their phones, like zooming in and stuff. And it's like, what are you doing with this? Like, I'd much rather, so I got a beer in each hand. I have no time for this.
Yeah. No, it's wild to watch. Like they're worried about, I don't know what they're worried about, but like, why the fuck would you pay money to go stare at your phone when you can go watch at home the video that the person that would have bought the ticket to the left of you just took?
Or watch the broadcast.
Or watch the fuck,
Watch the broadcast.
I really don't understand it. There's a few people that make signs and they consistently bring them, and it's really fun to watch. There's one kid that really hates Ethan. He always has one that says like, Ethan, that eats dog shit.
My cousin Chase would love that.
I love the when they do video game quotes.
Yes. One of my favorite parts of Botchamania is the sign roundup where he sits and sees, like, it's just like Final Fantasy VII is greater than Final Fantasy Tactics. And it has nothing to do with the show.
Nothing
to do with the show, whatever. That's what I mean. Like, those type of ones always pop me, or like the
sign guy signs.
Yeah, the randomest quote of like a movie that really, again, doesn't have anything to do with the show. But you like.
One of my favorites is a sign guy photoshopped Ric Flair onto a Campbell's soup bowl, and it was like Ric Flair woos, and all the woos were like little noodles. I'm like, that's a lost art, man. That is a goddamn lost art.
Don't say that to me. He'll fucking turn it into a thing. He'll have woodles.
Oh, he'll have woodles.
Yeah. He'll be selling woodles here soon.
Him and his 9th ex will be out there selling woodles.
Chicken woodle soup. God damn it.
And there was one, again, Ric Flair. Ric Flair had cool signs, I guess. I can't remember what event it was, but it was like woo, and everybody was holding an O, and that shit went around like the whole lower bowl. That was some guy must have brought like 50 or 60 cut out O's and just handed them out. The Cesaro section bit that was there for a bit, where you had like 40 or 50 people holding up the Wii sign.
When it was generic, the Cesaro ones, start handing them out at shows, and it's like, when it's forced, like, fuck off, guys, fuck off WWE, or fuck off, like, don't force it.
No,
the fans do it.
Let it get over. And speaking of signs, here's your sign to hit the subscribe button. Here's your sign to join us every week here on Sabotage Everything, contributing to the scene. Here's your sign to join us at Area 506 on September 11th. It's going to be another banger show. It always is. One of the best venues in the province, one of the best shows in the province. You're going to have a good time if you come. You'll want to come. But until next week, I am Lyle. That is Connors. That is New Hook. That is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tiki Mug. We will see you next time on Sabotage Everything. Here's Johnny Deathwish to take us out.